with us, and I just love it when you guys are around and you're all hearing us. And like I
Get smacked.
Yo, welcome back to the Virtual Slide Jam podcast. How are we all doing today, Rob?
Feeling good. Great to see y'all's faces again. It's been a little bit. Good to be back in the virtual booth.
Hell yeah, right? I always love coming here and just getting the chat on. You know, season's kind of coming to an end, so keeping the skate vibes going with the podcasts. It's a good time. Jared.
How you feeling, J-Lo? Always styling with the shades.
Always rocking the shades. J-Lo in the house. Good to be here. Let's see. I recently went to Atlanta for a skate fest and then went to Reddish Knob in the West Virginia mountains. Great time. No heavy injuries. And yeah, now we're chilling. We got hosting one more event next month. And then we're done for the year. So we're having a good time. Still skating.
I just saw Jesse, and he was saying that he was out there, and Chris Anders won the knob.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, no, it was a good race. It was a good race. Yeah, no, everyone had a good time. It was good weather. It was dry the whole time. A little chilly, but that's what you would expect for November in the mountains in the East Coast. But yeah, man, I don't think there was any major injuries over the whole weekend. Everyone partied, everyone had a good time, and nobody got hurt. And no crazy angry hillbillies this time. So that's a double win.
I just got back from the Rowan Mountain downhill in Tennessee, and also no crazy hillbillies.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's a little more official. Like they put money into it to close it down, and Reddish Knob is more of an outlaw, as in zero hay bales. Nobody knows about this. Just a bunch of skaters camping in the mountains.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I do want to say, in my skate world, which is limited but exciting news, Skate the Cape 10 is happening, and the total date change. It's always been the first weekend in November,
Change date.
but because of some circumstances, we're changed the date to March 28th through the 30th, 2025. So that's what's exciting. I'm planning that, having a lot of fun.
Of the year.
That hell yeah.
Put it in the calendar now. Book the ticket, book the flight, pack your shit, and get to Delaware.
Well, without further ado, as long as intro yet, without introducing our guest, Mr. Ben Udi, aka Father Noodle.
Hello.
What's up, Ben?
Stoked to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so let me give you a quick intro in case you don't know who Ben is. He is a Utah shredder. For the past 15 years, been riding downhill skateboards. I know he has a skateboard background, which I'm excited to dive into today. He's consistently put out great video parts for the Virtual Slide Jam, for his sponsors, and just for his love for skateboarding. He's got a great eye for filming and editing, which I'm excited to talk to him about today. He has a smooth style. He's a tall guy, and I think that goes into his style, which I'm excited to ask him about too. But he's got a ton of different tricks because of his background. He hosts events. He's a rad dad, and he's starting his own company. So, Ben, how tall are you, by the way?
How tall am I? I am 6'2".
Wow.
And also extremely skinny. So that adds to the effect for sure.
Yeah.
Wow,
what's your weight?
BMI must be perfect.
I don't know. It might be a little low.
Well, yeah, tell us a little bit about your history, how you started longboarding, your first event, when you got hooked on doing downhill skateboarding, longboarding, all that.
For sure. Yeah, that's a fun story. I always I grew up snowboarding. I started snowboarding at a very young age, and I was always very curious about skateboarding. I wanted to get into it. I got into that pretty young as well, probably around 5th grade, but I always sucked at it pretty bad, to be completely honest. I could never really figure it out. I was decent at skating bowls. Then one day, Rob knows Charlie. That's one of my oldest friends. He started watching like the original longboarding videos from like 2010, where they were hitting kickers and doing like tech slide dancing sort of stuff.
So good.
And yeah, oh dude, classics. So we got really into that. Started hitting the hills every day after school. I mean, we'd push like 10 to 15 miles a day, no joke. Just go from school all the way up to the east side where the hills are. We'd just do push-up slides and Colemans for hours and hours. That's pretty much the background of every downhill skater, right? And we thought we were the only people. Yeah, for sure. We all get that. But we thought we were the only people in Utah doing it. Like we had no idea the background that Utah really had. And after doing it for about a year or two, one day we were on one of the city trains coming back home from a spot. And my shirt got all ripped up that day from a fall. And but I was just, acting a goon on the train. And I look over, and sitting next to us, just on the opposing seats, were two other people with downhill setups. And lo and behold, that's Dylan Hepworth, one of them.
No way.
Sprint, the first person I ever met. And it was just by happenstance, met him on a train. I didn't really realize who he was. And we were just kind of chatting. I was on like some flexi board, just like, just a little grom. And we talked a bit, and I looked up his videos when I got home, and I was like, oh my God, like that's what you can do. Okay. So
that's so rad.
Yeah, ever since then, it's kind of just been nonstop. I've been trying to build up to that level and be able to skate comfortably and confidently wherever I can go.
Dude, I can't believe having like someone in your town on the same level as Dylan. Like, how did that how did that push you? Like, he's just so good. He's so damn good.
Yeah, Dylan's always been a really positive impact in my progress, I think. There's a bunch of really good skaters out here, and I think
facts.
There was a point where that was kind of like a negative influence, right? When I was skating around a lot of people that were better than me, and it would push me to go a little harder than I should probably. And I think that slowed my progress to a certain degree, but that was on my own accord. Like I was making bad choices just due to my surroundings, right? Like you want to impress the people you look up to, and I've gotten injured due to that, but
we've all been there.
Also at the same time, like I don't think I would be half the skater I am today if I didn't grow up skating around the people I did. So yeah, that's definitely been a blessing. Plus the hills out here, crazy.
Yeah, I was just chatting with Khalil, who grew up in Provo. He was saying every day he'd skate squaw. Like, dude,
cheat code.
Like, the hills in Utah are slept on. I think a lot of people know this, but also just like everyone you meet in Utah who skates at events like abroad are just like very, very good at skateboarding, yourself included.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I think we're lucky to have a good group of OGs, right, in the scene who have really taught a lot of us how to do it safely and have good etiquette. And so I think, we're lucky enough to have a good presence out there.
So you met Dylan on the bus. You're skating, doing some two-hand Tonys, some Colemans. What's really driving you to skate 10 miles every day and go to the hills? Like, chances are it's a little bit out of your way. Like, what got you hooked?
I don't really know. Like, I think it was really just like the motivation of building up on something and catching that like wave of progress, right? Like I was searching for that in all sorts of different sports at that age. Like I tried mountain biking. Of course, I've been skateboarding that whole time. Ended up, I picked up scooters at one point, did all sorts of stuff. And as soon as I started trying downhill, like something clicked there, where it was like I can actually do this and I enjoy it. I don't like it just made sense to me, I guess. It was a good way to stay active, be outside. You know how it is. I don't know.
Sir. It kind of just sets you free, lets you go wherever you
Oh,
want.
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, over the years, that's developed for sure. Like it was kind of just like a for fun thing at a young age, and as I've gotten older, it's definitely become more important to, just my overall health and happiness in life.
When did you feel like you were good enough for like a sponsorship, and like how old were you when you got your first sponsor?
You were actually my first sponsor, Rob. So Wheelers.
Heyo.
That was yeah.
Set
That
myself
was.
up there.
I don't know, like if I would have considered myself necessarily good enough to deserve a sponsor up until the point where you welcomed me into the faceplant. But I was definitely lucky to gain your support about 2 years into skating downhill. When I could kind of do like some stand-up slides, and I was like learning a thing or two at that point for sure.
Well, I think you always had good style. Maybe that's because you're so tall and skinny, or your snowboarding past. But yeah, could always tell. Even though you were early, you had great style from the beginning. Great toe side.
Appreciate that. Yeah, that means a lot for sure. That's something I've always tried to have as my main focus. Looking good on the board.
You can bank a whole career on the toe side, man.
Hey.
Oh, you have no idea. It's so easy.
No matter what direction you're going, you're looking good. So I appreciate it.
You really could, dude. You'd be amazed what you could get away with nowadays.
Y'all. Making me blush. I don't even know what to say.
I have a theory that if you're coming from a snowboard background, snowboarding has taught you toe sides. Like you learn toe sides hella fast.
Definitely helps. It translates very well. Like it makes total sense.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're hanging onto your toes on a steep cliff when you're snowboarding, like that's essentially the same thing as doing a toe side 180.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Hanging on for dear life.
Heel sides don't translate as well, but like toe side, it's the same thing.
Agreed. But once you see those stain lines from a heel side, it's just like, okay, worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I love doing like 200-foot toe sides on my snowboard. Like I'm longboarding and just tease it out.
Feeling boss stuff on the green.
So, Ben, tell us a little bit about how you got into event life and what were some of your first events you went to? How would they go? What was the vibe?
Yeah. Utah's had throughout pretty much my whole time I've been skating downhill, at least once I got into the community and kind of started to see what was going on out here. There have always been local like races and slide jams. So those were kind of my introduction. Were little slide jams and path races out here. It was really active when I was first starting, and then it kind of died out for quite a few years at one point. The first real big event I went to was Mary Hill. The year after I graduated high school, so that was 2017. The fall free ride, I believe. And so that was a pretty good introduction, I'd say. A lot of people go to that event.
Oh yeah, such a community hub.
Oh, totally. Yeah, well, I think that's like a mandatory. Like you gotta go to Mary Hill at least once. So that was an awesome time. That definitely opened my eyes a lot as well to what there is in downhill. And then after that point, I started trying to do them myself locally. The first one I ever did was kind of a flop. Got a bunch of big ramps up on a cool spot, and just a few people showed up, but learned a lot still. Like it was an awesome time, and the people that did come had a great time. And I kind of, after that, it was probably a year or two until I did another one, but the next one I did was really successful. And since then, I've tried to do at least one every year. In between that, I went to Giant's Head. And yeah, that really opened my eyes, I think. Giant's Head was like probably the biggest influence on where my skateboarding is today. After I got back from there, I immediately was like, I need to learn stand-up toe sides. I need to be dialed. I want to go back and be able to skate with these people. Like, I don't want to be in the back. I want to be up next to them doing stand-up slides. And, that's kind of what snowballed my progress since then. I haven't been able to make it back, unfortunately, but hopefully next year. I'm shooting for next year. Dude, for sure. It's a big goal right now. But yeah, events, they're a big part of my life for sure.
I was just gonna say, when you went to Giant's Head, what year was that?
That was 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, 2019. Yep. And then there was one more the year after, and then COVID hit, and it was like 3 years without it or some shit. I don't remember exactly. I think it was 2 or 3.
So no wonder you couldn't go back.
Yeah, exactly. Then
I wanted to ask you, Ben, since you were talking about events, you just kind of started hosting your own events. What kind of like sparked that? Like, was there just nobody else doing it? You're like, that looks cool. I want to start being a part of the community, or was it the sponsors driving you to do it?
Yeah, I think like it was kind of a lack of a certain there's just a certain area of downhill that wasn't really being covered in Utah, and there's definitely a big presence of downhill, and there's a race focus. Like, people do want to be fast, and race each other, and that's always been very present out here, which is awesome. That's definitely been big in my life, but I really wanted to see more slide jams and more people being more expressive on their skateboards, and so I tried to kind of do that. And the first thing I did was a slide jam, and due to it not being successful, I started doing races. And so I blended races with slide jams to kind of like at least squeeze it in there, and that worked pretty good. And now over the years, I really don't do races at all anymore. I just do slide jams, and so it's kind of worked out.
All your events are outlaw, right?
Yep. Yeah. So far, we've never done a sanctioned event. I really wanted to try, but it's not easy out here. There's already a lot of money like in the communities, and that's usually the biggest incentive to motivating a sanctioned event is bringing money to a community. So that's been a challenge. I've been working it out though.
How many outlaw events have you done since you started skating?
Count real quick. I mean, over the last year alone, I've done 4. And then aside from that, it's probably about 6. So yeah, about 10 to 12.
Wow.
Little outlaws, just, small things to start, and it's gotten bigger for sure.
Hey, Ben, I got a question for you. Can you hear me? All right, fantastic.
Very good.
Okay, with your first of all, where you live, I know Utah is kind of a dry state, but where you live, are there any breweries?
Oh, dude, right there.
Perfect.
One of the best.
Now, here's a question for you.
We have like 3 of the best breweries in the country.
All right, here's a question for you. Are there any breweries near your area, or even within the state, that are on top of a mountain?
Dude, I've looked into that. I really have.
Dude,
Mark's definitely, dude, his whole path is.
The only thing that would make it better if there was a dispensary at the top of a mountain. That would be the only thing that could be better.
I mean, I've been looking at like ski resorts and things of that nature. I talked to Dave Bankson, and he was kind of, he was at Roan, and
yeah.
I talked to him about how they worked out making that happen at a state park. And that conversation was kind of enlightening. So we have lots of roads and state parks out here, but I've always just like strayed away from that due to assuming it'd be extremely complicated and not,
Yeah.
really.
Plus, you got to know how to smooth talk to Chief.
Totally. No, it's all about who you talk to. So I got to find the right people.
Park rangers over cops any day of the week.
Oh,
Amen.
all day, 100%.
They were so helpful at Roan. They were just like down.
Nice.
They were so stoked.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's like a really good event, like for what it was and how extreme that course is. Like, good turnout.
Bro, I know you throw events on good roads. I've been to one, the Huntsville this summer. But if you throw it in a park with park rangers that can help out on a really steep, super fun road, people will show up. 1,000%.
Facts. I know of a couple spots, so there's options for sure. Got to be done right. Got to choose the right person. Oh no, I've been like considering it for sure. I don't know how to approach it yet. Definitely like approaching it cautiously and slowly.
Well, speaking of Dave, we got a guest question for you from
Absolutely.
Daddy
All right.
himself. Here we go.
Hey, miss you, buddy. I want you to tell everybody about the story of the lizard person, and I want to ask you about how the trampoline on Squaw Peak is doing. Have a good interview or whatever and stuff. Okay, bye.
What's up with this lizard person?
Oh, jeez. Well, the lizard person. Yeah, that's a fun one. So Dave came out to visit Utah like four years ago at this point, and we went all over, went to a bunch of spots. We didn't really get to go super deep down south, but the whole area of northern Utah was explored. And we went to a new spot to me and camped overnight. And it's up in a canyon, really nice area with some red rock, and it's like right in the middle. It's like at the seam where Utah turns to red rock. So on one side you got like pine trees and brown dirt, and then you just right next to you there's red rock and red sand. So pretty cool area. So on the way up we see the shipping container Mexican restaurant gas station, right? And we stopped there. We were stopping at the gas station, but Dave makes a trip over to this shipping container and finds that it's a little shop full of stones and minerals and whatnot. And he's looking at all these things, and the person attending the station, comes up to him and starts chatting with him. And Dave likes to talk, so he's asking him all sorts of questions. I think Dave asked him about every single mineral in there, and this guy had the answer on the spot, just on the spot, no hesitation. He knew what it was and what it was about. And we all ended up in there at one point talking to him, and the guy was just kind of a trip. He was a trip, and Dave was super tripped out about him. And he wouldn't stop talking about him pretty much the whole night. And then on the way out, we were gonna stop there to buy. He wanted to buy something or something of that nature, and everything was closed down. It was just a sealed, closed down shipping container at that point. And ever since then, Dave's been convinced that was a lizard person who lives underground hunting for gems and minerals in the Utah desert.
What? How did he get to that conclusion? Something.
It was a trip of a time. We had a good old time in the mountains for sure.
Hell yeah, dude! Sounds like everyone could use some good trips to the mountains.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And the trampoline at Squaw. I don't think that's still there. I never got the chance to double check, but when he was in town, there happened to be 2 trampolines up at the top of a mountain. And we hiked up to them, and, a couple of the ballsy people in our group did backflips on them, and me and Dave laid there in bliss. pretty awesome. If you watch, I have we made a video that year with Faceplant, like a full team video, and there's a clip of it at the very beginning of my segment, Hot Laps Summer. Peep that. That's a classic.
That is a good one. 10
really good
writer edits and Ben's
love that video.
really nice. Really nice. That's a great one. If you haven't watched it, go watch it.
I'll put that in the link
Dude,
below.
definitely. Totally worth watching. One of my favorite projects I've been involved in for sure. Everyone's part is just like so beautiful, so unique.
That was cool. That was fun.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's get into some tech here. I'm not talking about gear. I'm talking about you skateboarding. All right. So go ahead and show us or talk us through this one. This is a Virtual Slide Jam 2 entry. I don't think I've even met you at this point, but definitely blew my mind with the boneless. And I think you might have been living in Asheville at the time for this one.
Yeah, I was traveling through the area. That video was filmed in Virginia. Or actually, yeah, Virginia. I was traveling quite a bit at the time.
All right, let's bring it up. Yeah, this looks like a nice little hill to do some tech.
Ooh, nice little 360.
Yeah. So,
Blunt. Another
yeah,
blunt.
I was
Loving the blunts.
just coming out of Asheville, and after skating with Jesse Fabrizio and Benjamin Dewar
Man,
for like that whole
Yeah, this is
time, I was
pretty-
really hard bills.
Pretty slow for you, but really good techie tricks. That one's my favorite. The boneless
Yeah.
off the
Oh,
ledge.
I was stoked I pulled that off.
It was just scary.
Urban to
There was a curb at the top too, so I had to like jump over the curb. It was kind of sketcy with the tree there.
nice.
Worked out good. That was really fun to film. Yeah, I drove
looked-
around. I
looked
drove
proper.
around that the little town I was in for like 45 minutes trying to find a straight hill to film something on, and came across that. It worked out. Yeah.
yeah,
Fun
pretty
little
crazy what you
project.
can do. It's crazy what you can do with just
Oh,
a little hill.
absolutely. Oh,
I'm
dude.
just saying though, if you really put your time into it, I think you can come out with a W in one of these virtual slide jams.
I gotta
Yep.
try harder.
Yeah.
Try harder. I had every intention of like going in this last year, and I don't even remember what got in the way. I mean, like I said, I did about 4 events over the last year, and that was definitely a big thing. Then I've been starting a small business, so I mean, I got all the excuses in the world, but I can do better, and I will. I promise.
Well, so you said you were skating with Ben Dewar and Jesse Fabrizio. Like I've seen you skate. You've got a lot of tech. You've got a lot of speed, like slides. You've got almost every other trick you can do. Like I see you do like 360 blunts. Like what was the process of learning these tricks? Was it just kind of like the spur of the moment? I'm going to try this, and then you got it, or is it kind of more hard work goes into it? Like talk us through your process of learning those tricks.
Yeah, that's a pretty good question. I think it's like an even 50-50. Like sometimes I'm just goofing off and something clicks and I just like do it first try. But then of course to like get something in the bag, you always gotta like go through the sweat of like really earning it. Sometimes we get a first try, but like to secure it, you must go in. So there's always some effort to it, but over the years it's gotten easier for sure. Some tricks, they're just taken me forever to figure out, and there's some that I've done in videos that I haven't been able to do since. So it just depends.
I feels you on that one, dude.
Yeah, it's kind of
Are you
rough. The ones that you
learning new tricks?
Yeah, I try to try a new trick every time I skate. That's a big thing that I do, I guess.
Wow, that's really cool. I don't do that.
Yeah, I don't succeed. I try a new one for sure. Depends on what I'm doing. Sometimes I'm trying to just go a little faster into my stand-up slide, but sometimes I'm trying to like actually just like develop a new movement.
What inspires you to like learn new tricks or like try new tricks or even create them?
I think the big thing that's kind of moved me in that direction has probably been having a kid. A lot of my early past skating downhill was pretty focused on just like going fast, skating open roads and keeping it in your lane and hoping the cars do the same. And you do that enough and you have enough close calls and you realize how dangerous it can be. And I am definitely a dad and I can't be playing with my life too much. So I think at that point I started playing more with going slow and being more technical. And it's been fun for sure. Like, I think that's really helped with my skateboarding. And at this point, like, I feel like I can go faster and I don't feel like I'm pushing myself into a dangerous place just because I've put so much focus into the slow side of skating.
Dale, yeah, I love to hear it. So do we want to go into your VSG3 part real quick? Speaking of slow skating.
We can. I'm disappointed in it.
Dude,
it's
it was
like
so
such
good.
a fucking, it's good, but it's like, man, it should be twice as long. That took me, I went out twice. I got 2 sessions to make that happen. Like the first session, I was like, that's not going to cut it. I need like 3 more clips.
Need 3 more beers and 3 more clips. So it's like first day riding the setup?
Yeah, these are very first slides on that board.
Dude, so clean with that no comply. Like I think a lot of the time tall dudes kind of struggle with the style side. So it's good to see a tall dude with some silky smooth style for sure.
Dude, it's a make or break for sure, honestly, huh? I mean, you look at Chase Hiller's past videos, right? It just develops over time. Like Chase Hiller used to he's always gone ham and everything he's ever done has always been admirable, but used to be very stick buggy. And like over time, he still is very long with it, but it like looks way more flowy just because it's just like developed over the years. And same with me. Like I think in the past, like I used to look very like wobbly and just like, all over the place, sprawled out there. And you just kind of learn how to work with all the space you have.
Yeah, I mean that seamless heel 3 and then the toe side blunt 3. I mean, those look really smooth. And
Yeah,
those,
dude,
those
did you see that?
you can't fake that.
Dude,
I couldn't believe I pulled that off.
That last trick was insane.
Yeah.
I haven't done that since. I've tried to.
Oh, I
was
believe
like
you, my friend. That's
so
the
lucky.
kind of trick that takes you like 50 tries in front of
Dude,
the
it's
camera. And
hard,
once
bro.
you get it, you don't want to do it, touch it ever again.
Oh my
I
God.
was wiped. I was wiped. Yeah. This one's fun. I've been trying to get that one dialed for the whole season. And I can't. Every once in a while I'll do it pretty good. And it's like
Toe side
every,
360 blunt.
Yeah, those are pretty tough. Sometimes I'll do like 5 in a row, but I can't like get it to the point where I can do it every time.
I just want to shout out early grabbing out of tricks and shoveting out of tricks.
I love
Yeah.
that too. Yeah.
Doing an
Good
early
shit.
grab after a 6 slide is just like the hell yeah, brother stamp of a
Dude, when you get like a tight hairpin and you can early grab over the apex, that's the best. I love that.
Dude, I want to see early grab
Fine.
slides happen.
I think Jesse's done that. I feel like I've seen somebody do it on Dragons.
Hard wheels make it happen.
I've definitely seen tech sliders go like blunt early grab to nose blunt, which is pretty crazy. Those like Brazilian dudes, unbelievable.
The Brazilians go hard on the paint,
Yeah,
bro.
I can't even comprehend.
We were working on a pretty fun trick in Asheville this past week. Me and Jesse and Will Royce, we were working on toe side 180 to kickflip back to regular. So like you do a toe side 180 and instead of like finishing switch, you just kickflip back to regular, like a 180 kickflip back the way you came.
Oh, What the hell? So it's like a cab, like a half cab flip.
It's like a half cab. It's like a 270, but like revert back the way you came with a kickflip. So it's like almost like a yo-yo.
Did anybody land it?
Yeah, Will got it.
Huh?
Will Royce got it for sure. He got it.
Will got it. Oh damn.
And then me
That's
and
a
Jesse
crazy-
were working on toe side blunt to body varial mid blunt.
Huh? Yeah. Those are fun.
Yeah, it was like
I can't. Body varials are really hard. Toe side blunt body varial. I see what you're saying. Oh, that's fricked up.
Yeah, so what once
So
you
you're
got
doing
the
like a
nose
toe
up-
side blunt to like switch blunt.
pretty much, yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
it was like just in a parking lot, like a little slope parking lot. It was a great time.
That's sick. Yeah, Jesse taught me toe side blunts. That's a fun one to get down. Those feel so good.
I've always wanted to get ones that are like real long, but they've eluded me. So
Hard. It's so scary.
tell us what's up with the hippie jump.
With the what
You're-
again?
The hippie jump.
My hippie jump. Dude, I don't know. Okay, are you talking about like the skate the cape hippie jump?
Yeah, is
I
that
don't
the
know how
only
I
one
got
that
that.
you've won?
I don't know how I did that. Like, wow, that was
It
like
might have to do with your height.
dude, but I haven't been able to do it since I've made a hippie jump bar. I do that at some of our events out here. I can't, like, I don't win out here. I can't hippie jump that high anymore, dude. That was like crazy. Like, it was just the vibes.
It's
That
just the vibe, the hype, that's
coastal
right.
vibes.
Yeah, that was definitely a
vibe.
once in a lifetime thing.
Bro, I went to the East Coast this weekend and my knees just stopped hurting. It was fantastic.
Dude, being in like the humid air is so good for you. For real.
Yes, sir.
100%. I don't believe we're supposed to be in these dry places.
So you won the hippie jump. How high?
Yeah, I did. I don't. How high was that? Like 47 inches?
That sounds about right. Yeah,
Which is like 4
which is
feet.
very high.
Yeah, I don't know. Seriously, like I can't even claim that. We got to talk about Aaron Gordy's hippie jump. What was that? Like freaking over
61.
5 feet. Yeah, that's
Insane.
nuts. Yeah, if he would have
We'll
been
see.
there.
Showdown
wouldn't have
at Skate the Cape 10. Let's see.
Start
I
practicing.
have a hippie.
So you got a pretty all-around style. Just like right before we get into the next topic, who's your role model?
That was a tough question.
It is.
You know, I think like my early influences in like where my style is now, probably James Kelly, Eric Jensen. If you're
Hell
familiar
yeah.
with that good fella?
Blueberry
Comment.
Farmer.
Yeah, fucking. So good. So good. Love Eric. He doesn't skate anymore, unfortunately, but he rips on a mountain bike. Yeah, probably, Tyler Howell as well. I really was stoked on him around like 2015, 2016 when I was grinding on the free ride. So yeah, probably those three. There's some good ones.
Tyler Howell slept
And since
upon.
then, oh yeah, Eric Jensen. Nobody ever knows that name when I bring him up, but he's all of his footage from back in the day. It's
Only a
so
great longboarder can know of that great skater. Only the good, like real skaters know that name. You know what I mean? Not the people who work at movies. No.
real one.
No, the real
Yeah.
skaters know that name.
Rarely do I bring him up and people know. And like, look at that.
Yo,
Look
ask
at
me,
you.
Ben, ask me a
educated.
question, dude. I got to skate with Eric for like 3 months in SF when I lived there. It was sick.
No, that's so sick.
Dude, he
Oh,
just like,
that's so sick.
he sees shit different. He'll just like
Oh yeah, you can.
you won't see shit, but he'll like go into a cutty driveway and like boost over a bush or just hit a wall
Dude, that's why
ride.
I love it.
What?
That's why I love him. You watch his footage and it's like, man, you don't know what's coming. Like he'll just be mobbing and all of a sudden he's just like hitting a gap. Oh, it's so good. Love
You
it.
ever see his city lines part?
Probably, dude. I think I've seen all of his footage.
As you should.
Like, yeah. I have gone to town with him for sure.
That's a good inspo for sure.
Yeah. Oh, dude, he's definitely been a pretty pivotal influence in my style.
Okay, well,
Hey,
let's get.
I'm sorry. I wanted to ask you because my toe sides suck. Can you give me a little rundown on how to do a fast toe side check properly?
First of all, I don't think your toe side's stuck. I'm not going to accept that statement.
They're so
But
tiny.
I will give you tips on how to go faster for sure.
All right, please do.
This last year, I've really figured out like how to do it safely. I feel like. All right, toe sides. It is all 100% completely and wholly in the front foot. You want your back foot weightless. Like you should be like leaning onto your front foot completely. Freaking just lean into it. Use the lean to get it to float out, right? So like you can build up this technique going slow, and once you find that like point where it's just, oh, this is where it gives out every time, and then it's easy, right? You can go as fast as you want, and it's the same thing. It's the hookup that'll get you, right? So like when you're going faster, the hookup's more sharp, and sometimes if you're leaning off the front too much, you're gonna like just get bucked off when you hook up because you're not gonna have anything holding on in the back. But that's really the big thing. It's really just like a pivot. Like you're pivoting on your front foot. I'd recommend working it out. No, that's a bad tip. I'd recommend like sliding to a stop. I was gonna say do 180s, but like 180s can kind of make
I'm
you
definitely
have a hard
stuck
time.
in the 180 game when I go faster.
Yeah, dude, and that's like speed checks. The trick to bring it back to a check is to re-weight your rear foot. So you're gonna put the weight back on, kind of lean into it, and let the board snap back. You know?
And as far as like your setup and like angle, like I know you can like do one where you do like a big turn to like the side. You're goofy, right?
Mhm.
So you go like to the right and you do one kind of straight, or do you like angle it from right side of the road to the left side of the road?
Usually when I'm doing toe sides, I'm doing a pretty good pre-carve, but it depends on what you're approaching. Like if you're on a straightaway, you definitely want a pre-carve. So you're coming, you're goofy as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're coming from left side, diving over to the right. And then when you, as soon as you go to dive back to the left, you're like letting that slide feather out.
Right.
So it's
Makes
all in
sense.
that dive, right? And it's almost like a jumping game too. Like that's like a stretch to explain it that way. It can maybe get confusing at this point, but like you want to like just take the weight off the board. So when I was first starting to do toe sides, I would like suck myself down all the way. Tyler Howell is the person that kind of got me to do this because he really just like springs into them. So he'll like suck down, and then when he's going to kick his slide out, he just jumps up and like leans forward, slide out, and then he's like holding on to it. So that can help a lot. That helps with the kick out. But over time, you kind of want to get to the point where you're not springing into it so much.
Right.
You have more control at that point when you're really just like letting it feather out.
It does look cool when the rider's just kind of standing in their rider stance and just feathers it out rather than like, you're right, like jumping into it. But that definitely will help learning it.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's steps
I can
to it
see
for
that.
sure. Yeah.
Thank you. Haha.
Got you.
Well, You've had an extensive past of sponsors, which if you just want to rattle off your sponsor history and how you got each one, because I know our listeners are always sponsor hungry, and learning the grand life of being a sponsored rider is always nice to get the reality slap. So love for you to talk about that, and then we'll jump into your own company, which I love to hear more about too. So let's just run through that, please.
For sure. Yeah. Sponsors. That was sponsors were always like a really big deal to me when I was younger. I was just really wanting to be a professional skateboarder, and like, just to be completely honest, like that was a big focus when I was in junior high school. And so from my perspective, the big conduit to that was sponsors, right? In all reality, the big conduit to that is progress. And I think that was a bit of a distraction at a certain point. And if I'm giving advice, I think it's important to do it at the right time and almost let those relationships come to you rather than seek them out. But what I did do was I did pursue them. And to be honest, like, that's been good in my life, right? Like Rob here, I know him through that. Wheelers was my first sponsor, like I said earlier. And that was a pretty huge impact, I'd say. I think on at least on making videos, I really always felt super motivated to be up on making videos due to that. And
yeah. How did you hear about Wheelers? Because you were in Utah, we were in like Jersey.
Google. Yeah. I looked up small longboard wheel companies. And you were the first.
Well done.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, this looks sick. I could ride these wheels.
Oh, that is hilarious, dude.
I sent all my footage, and I mean, like, honestly, like, it's funny for sure, like, looking back on it, and it's kind of like the total kook grom shit. But like, the relationships that I formed through that are definitely a blessing, right? Like, I know.
No, and back then it was insane the amount of sponsor me emails we got. That was the peak of it. It was ridiculous. So yours did stand out. So well done.
Pretty, like, it means a lot, for real. Like, it's kind of crazy because I look back on that and I'm like, I don't know what was I doing? I watched those videos and like sending like push-up slides and stuff. But that's like, honestly, definitely one of the bigger impacts in my early skating was you welcoming me in to what you were doing, and that taught me a lot as well. Definitely learned a lot through the relationship I have with you.
It was so cool because we were connected from, we would have never met each other. So it was just like, and then I come out to Utah because I had relatives in the area, and we ended up snowboarding like a bunch of times, which is just so cool because we would have never done that. So
exactly,
that's the whole thing about this whole community, that it's just awesome.
For sure. And that was a huge thing too. Like, just being able to like, know people from across the country and
totally
have these relationships. That's always been pretty big to me. But yeah, there was Wheelers, and it was pretty much strictly Wheelers until I graduated high school. And when I graduated high school, Rob decided to close out Wheelers and just put his focus into Faceplant. And he invited me onto that team. And after Wheelers went out, I wanted to find a new wheel sponsor, and did the same thing, and reached out to a couple companies. This time I was kind of more selective. Like, I wasn't trying to just like be sponsored. There were a couple companies that I did specifically really desire to be involved with. And Amia Wheels was willing to give me a discount and kind of put me on their team in a passive way. And that was a really huge step for me, honestly, like being able to get the support from Amio, just because like I had been watching their media for a long time at that point, and I'd really like been stoked on what they were doing and the way they were doing it, just their style in general. And yeah, so I rode for Amio for years with Faceplant. And those are really my only two sponsors for a while. I'd say I rode strictly Amio wheels and Faceplant boards for probably 7 years, honestly, like just strictly. And then I dropped pretty much both Faceplant and Amio at the exact same time. Just not just for personal reasons. There was nothing like pushing that other than the fact that I wanted to skate more stuff. And I was skating strictly the gear that my sponsors made. And I got to the point where I just wanted to open myself up more. And I think that's when I started skating hard wheels and started doing more tech stuff, trying out bigger double kicks. And I think that definitely opened up my skateboarding a lot. I didn't have a single sponsor for the last 2 or 3 years after that. And now I ride for Grand Skateboards here in Salt Lake, which is just a friend from pretty much the beginning. And he's made boards for all sorts of companies. You know, he made the molds for Primitive Skateboards, which is a pretty big one that he can claim. He's made boards for Omen. He made all the boards for Beggar Supply Co. So he's a pretty awesome dude. I'm definitely I don't even believe that I'm in the position to have him approach me and want me to help him with his brand. That's something I've always seen him making boards throughout the whole time I've been skating. And, I'm lucky enough to be in the position now where he trusts me to help him build it. So
What are you riding? And you just started riding it on your last virtual slide jam submission?
Yeah, it was that deck. I've been riding that past season. Frick, I don't even know if I have it with me here. It might be in my car, but that's a pretty fun deck. Before that, I was riding. He made me a double kick, a 38-inch skateboard identical double kick. Riding that for a while. That's something he specializes in, is that niche stuff. But then he's been working on revamping an old mold. And he's done some unique stuff with the concave. It's kind of got this, it's like a full bowl in the front. So it's almost like micro drop, but it's more of like a wedge that carries out to the nose. And then, of course, the trucks are flush mounted, so those are level. But it's kind of like you're standing in a bowl in the front. And then the rear has a similar thing going on, but it goes into the kicktail. So the kicktail has concave. And that's where that no comply blunt 3 and the toe side blunt 3, that's where those came in. I was like, man, I need to blunt stuff with this. And it's got a little bit of W too. It's a really cool deck.
Wow, that sounds like a super dynamic board.
Oh, dude, yeah. And it's
bells and whistles.
36 inches long. So it's like a nice little single kick. So you can cruise around on it.
Very on trend right now.
Totally.
Can you pick up one of these bad Larrys?
We're still working on it. I think we've decided to kind of bring it out a little bit. We're going to put an extra inch into the wheelbase, I believe. So there's some updates that need to happen to the mold.
Of course, always.
He just test his own though, so we'll see.
That's nice. Yeah, he sounds like he can handle it. Yeah. Then he made the Grateful Shred for Faceland board riders, which it sounds like this is kind of like a mixture of that.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a very similar idea. Very similar. Yeah, no, I think.
Yeah, what a process. Yeah, tell us a little bit about your input and what's your role in making this board, and tell us what's that like, because that is the cool part about being a team rider.
Oh, that's the best part, in my opinion. It's really fun to be involved in development, but. I think at the moment it's an effort between me and another rider on the team named Tim. We're the only two who have boards pressed in this specific mold. His is more platform for downhill with small trucks, and then mine's more platform for a symmetrical freeride setup with wide trucks. So we're trying to find the happy medium between the two, I think. And that's my role at the moment. Like I'm more free ride oriented, and Tim is a bit more downhill, glove down oriented. So we can kind of work at each other's perspective and see what will work for almost everybody. That's
Very
the goal.
cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. There's only two out there. That's pretty rad that you're one of them.
Yeah. I'm definitely lucky. It's
Tell us about you starting your own company, Subculture Skate Co. at Subculture Skate Co. on Instagram. Well done. Got that name. Gotta love
Hey,
that.
I appreciate that. Yeah, a lot of thought went into the name for sure.
What's it all about?
Dave helped me there. I kind of had a goofy name at first, and he talked some shit, and that
He always talks shit. That's his whole
you
thing.
need someone that will. Everybody needs a friend that'll talk shit. But yeah, subculture. Yeah, I've always wanted to do something of my own. I think at a certain point in skateboarding, right? Like when I was younger, I wanted to be a professional skateboarder, and obviously, like that's a goal on the side of like ability at this point. But I want to be involved in skateboarding as a career in one way or another. Obviously at the moment it's pretty passive. I don't want to be too emotionally invested in it so that it can be more creatively expressive. But that's the thing. You got to start somewhere, and I've been thinking that over the last year, like what things I can do with my life to be more excited about it, pretty much. And luckily I'm in the position now in life where I have some close friends that I can trust, who I feel confident going into something like this with. And yeah, we're just kind of diving in. I got my buddy Robert and my friend Caden. They both have really thick backgrounds in skateboarding, have good perspectives. At the moment I'm funding all of it, but they're really helping me piece the ideas together, and we're just fucking diving in, seeing what we can do.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it grow.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what you guys come up with, because you're already doing events. You're a big part of the community, and you've been a sponsored rider. So yeah, it's that time where it switches over, where you become the
when we get back, like that's definitely the big intention. We want to use, like, if we can build this up, we want to use our resources to do something for skateboarding. Like it's not so much for myself as much as it is to like really push us in a direction that's good.
That's an admirable goal, and I mean, you got a good background for it. Like as we've talked about, you are throwing events for the community. You're working with local skate brands to help make some new stuff, and you're also pioneering your own brand. These are all pillars, and there's also one more pillar I want to get into that you're doing, which is editing, film editing, videos. Like you just came out with a new video part, which is called Clay Pigeons. One thing I noticed about this video, man, is that one thing I noticed about this video, first off, is that it's edited to the music. The skating is like talking, but also like the editing and the shots, and that's not something you see often. It's kind of even a gamble to put the time and effort into that, and from what I've heard, you've put some time into it. So yeah, can you give us a little breakdown about this video, and we'll go into a little director's commentary, if you will.
For sure. Yeah. This video, honestly, it's a short video. This is probably the shortest video I put out in many years. It is also the only video I put out in quite a few years. I haven't had the chance to work on one for quite a while, due to having a kid and just life being what it is. But I've had every intention to this whole time. And it's been a process. This it's put me through some heavy creative blocks, and it's been a bit of a challenge to actually accomplish getting a video done at this point in my life. So I'm really excited that I was actually able to do it. Winter is, right around the corner here. It's been pretty freaking cold, and the footage at the very end of the video was filmed on Sunday of this week. And that was the last warm day we're going to get. Like, I went out skating today and it was cold. I was freezing my butt off. So it's winter now, and I'm just like, I'm stoked. I'm really pumped I got that done. I feel accomplished, and that's always what I go for. I want to make something that makes me feel proud of myself, and I finally hit that moment with this one. It was some freaking hard work for sure. I'm sure you saw no follow runs, so it was lots of hiking, many hours of hiking up and down full runs to get her done.
And you had some help with filmers, which is huge.
Oh yeah, makes a massive difference.
Absolutely. Like, just getting someone to stand on on the hill with you and work on the creative process that's honestly, in my opinion, what people don't have when they're making videos, and that's why we don't have the stuff that you're putting out. Honestly.
Dude, for sure. No, teamwork makes the dream work, and like that's not something I've usually had in the past. Like, I've been lucky on a couple projects to have some friends really stick with the whole thing and help me film it. But this project specifically, my buddy Caden Pulley, like, he really was involved. And like the intro, that was his idea. He completely plotted that whole scene out. And, I've edited that intro over 6 different songs. And, we finally set on that one. And like, without Caden, I don't know if I'd even have released the video, because I've just been like all over the place with this thing. Like, it's kind of stupid looking back, because it really is. It's like, it's a skate video and it should be fun. But holy crap, due to it being so many years since I made one, like, I just wanted it to be perfect. And as soon as I let go of that, I've been really satisfied with how it's looking. So,
hey, as long as it's done, that's what matters.
Exactly. Like, it's a video and it's done, and I'm proud of it. Like, that's definitely the best skating I've ever gotten on camera. And like, I don't need to be nitpicking the freaking song and the edit. Like, it's good enough.
Can you tell us a little bit about like the time span you spent working on this?
Yeah, we started that. So Caden, he got that new camera this early this spring. It's like an official, like, big, like, it's almost like a VX, but it's not a VX. It's something bigger, like a freaking news camera. So he wanted to play with that thing. And yeah, we started in the spring. The clips, the rain footage, if you notice those clips where it's kind of like patchy on that blacktop road, those are the first clips filmed. And that was probably April, I think. So it's been a good few months for sure. It's about 7 months of work on that one. When we filmed, actually we should just like get into the commentary, because I could point this out through the video. I don't want to give away too much, or else I won't have anything to say.
Let's do it. Let's do it here.
Yeah, heck yeah. Bummer that we can't play the song though, man. I'm sure Decca would love if we played it.
All right, here we go. Let's start at the beginning.
Sweet. So yeah, the intro I'm speaking of. So this is at the top of the spot you're gonna see here in a moment. We call it Cricket. This spot's like an abandoned property this is a plot for a home. And it's all kind of blocked off at the bottom. Luckily, the owner's kind to us, and he lets us skate there because we did a service project, cleared out that tree that you see at the top there. We cleared all that up and painted over the graffiti you're going to see in a moment.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was really awesome. And so he loves us. The neighbors don't. So we can't do events there, unfortunately, but he's nice to us. But yeah, this spot's phenomenal. It's a really cool spot. We don't get traffic due to it being blocked off. And this hairpin you're seeing here is a dream.
Dude.
So that line right there, like, that was I set out for that. Get a toe side through the whole hairpin. That was a really big accomplishment.
Oh man. shaking the rust off of the switch toe.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that was also a big accomplishment. That's my biggest switch toe, I think. And these are the rain clips I'm talking about here. So, yeah, this was the first footage we got really early spring. It was just barely starting to get green in the area. There's still no leaves on the trees.
I like that transition.
Thank you. Yeah, that one, I worked hard on that one. That was timed up to a different song too, so I had to like re-edit it for this one. But yeah, this is a fun spot we have, Cascade Springs.
That's
Nice mountain road. This is one of the ones I have in mind for a potential state park event if I can find the right person. There's another like really fast grip road on the other mountain. You go across the valley and it's like a 6-minute grip run. That could also be free rideable if there's not traffic. And then this is another one that could really make a good event. This road is gated year round. It's a fire access road. And it is just a freaking dream. Like, you're only seeing half of it in this video, but love this road. This was really fun to film. This was probably the hardest work, was to film that one. I hiked up and down that road too many times. And then here you go. This is one of my favorite spots, one of almost everybody's favorite spots in Utah. It's just too fun. Like, it just back and forth. Usually some good traffic, but they stay in their lane and it's nice and wide, so it's a fun time. These are probably the fastest stand-up toe sides I've ever done too. I think I was going about 45 miles an hour for some of these. Hard to capture the speed correctly, but it felt fast for sure. So everything up until that last segment was filmed by Caden Poley, and then that last segment was filmed by my buddy Robert. And yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Frig yeah.
All I gotta say is, like, how come you guys have nice paved roads and we don't?
Dude, it's give and take for real. So, you know, the thing about Utah, like, we would have 3 times as many spots if they wouldn't freaking chip seal over all this fresh pavement. So we get chip seal all the time. And then usually when something gets chip sealed, something gets hit with smooth pavement somewhere in the area. So it's kind of like we go back and forth. Like Squaw, that's covered in chip seal right now. One of our other really classic spots, Guardsman's Pass, is covered in chip seal. That's like a 14-minute 65-mile-an-hour downhill run that's just covered in chip seal for no reason. Like, it had perfect pavement. So yeah, we have that to deal with as well, but we definitely are lucky aside from all that.
Well, throw an event on that road and I'll show up.
Yeah, I'm gonna try for sure. I'm gonna look into it, see what I can do.
All right, so Ben, we've got a new segment we want to test out with you.
All right.
I'll let Jared take it away.
Ben, all right, my guy, dude. Welcome to the. You're the very first person to participate in the Name That Longboard video. So the way this works is we're gonna play a song, and you have to name or describe. You don't have to say the official title if you don't remember it, but you do have to give us at least hints that you're like, oh, I know that video. We're gonna play 10 seconds of a song that's in the video, and these are big longboard videos. Like, these were huge hits back in the good old days, and we want to see if you can identify this video and hopefully
I'm nervous now.
Remind us of what they were promoting. Bonus points if you could tell us what they're promoting in the video. Are you ready, Ben?
I hope.
All right, we're gonna play the song for you. Kurt, take it away.
I have no idea.
Alrighty, Ben. With that 10 seconds of the song, can you identify that longboard video?
You know, it sounds like some sort of loaded Otang vibe, so I'm just gonna guess.
Oh, you're on the right track. You're on the right track, dude.
Crap, brother. Loaded Otang. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a loaded Otang video.
You're
You're on the right track. Keep going.
Dude, there's no way I've got this one in the bag. Loaded Otang. Is it?
I'll give you a hint. It came out in 2012.
2012. Are they like promoting a wheel? It's a wheel video.
Yes.
Is it the freaking God? Which one is that? I cannot remember what wheel it is, but I think I know the video.
I'll give you another hint. It's a wheel that is discontinued.
The durian. It's that center set free ride wheel. The beefcake's made after it.
What?
The beefcake's made after it. Like
No.
Not
They're
that one?
made after the Morongas.
Shit, dude.
yeah. Or no, sorry, before the Morongas.
Right. Not the skiffs, is it? Skiffs are after. Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, nope. I lose this one.
All right. But I will give you points for pointing out it was a loaded at Otang video. You were definitely correct on that.
I'm not good with titles.
Oh, that's okay, man. It was in 2012. It was the Sunny Side Up video promoting the orangutan balut, featuring Ethan Kuchard and Kyle Chin.
Dude, I'm pretty sure I know exactly the video that is too.
It was produced by Adam Colton and Adam Sikowski.
God damn it. Well,
Well, thanks for playing this
guess
week on Name That Longboard video.
dang.
That's okay, man. Don't worry, there's not a pit of lava underneath you that you're going to fall into. You're fine.
I feel like
you're
I deserve to have one underneath me.
They wanted me to make it challenging. I was going to go for like the Liam Morgan caliber video.
You should have given me Mike Virgin or something, man.
I didn't know you know Mike. Dude, hey, man, I wanted to make it challenging. I wanted to make sure it was specifically a sliding video, but a popular one.
That was excellent because I know the video. I've definitely seen it. So
well, now you got to go back and watch it after this.
You're valid.
Yeah, dude, that video is heavy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it again for sure.
It really makes you kind of want to buy that wheel and that setup and go skate San Francisco.
They were really good at that for sure. They were very good.
Oh, they
at that.
did a great job at making that video.
Mm-hmm. All their videos, they never missed back in the day.
All right, so Ben, we've got another guest question for you. You ready for this?
Shit.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Yo, Ben, Ricky Wheeler, and I want to ask you, way back when, the days of Wheeler's Wheels, and you're riding for us at Wheeler's Wheels, what was your craziest downhill longboard run? Because you're always doing epic runs, and every video you ever sent us was just insane. You're a madman. So, yeah, what's your craziest run during your time on Wheeler's Wheels? And if you want to make a two-part question, what's your craziest snowboarding story?
What happened to Ricky's wacky hair?
My craziest snowboarding story is. He knows for sure. Rob does too. Rob caused it.
Oh yeah, I know that snowboarding
I
story.
ring a bell, brother.
There's two of them.
Okay, so my craziest run on wheelers, though, that one for sure. There's a run in Bountiful called Pondering Deer. I think Dylan Hepworth is the only one that's ever really done it justice, but it's like straight up and down into a massive left. And I'm goofy, so that's a big toe side for me. Granted, I just did a fat pendy into it, but I was on 85A wheelers, so that's pretty sick, I'd say. Those are super slidey wheels. But that was way back in the day. You can see that footage in my 2015 video, I think.
Wow. I think it's still up.
Called The Kill. That video is my most viewed video. Kind of crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Wonder why. Maybe it's the time people just hit it up early.
Skate Slate shared it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was really sick, actually.
What?
That is
Yeah, isn't that crazy? That was pretty
Epic.
crazy. One of my biggest flexes in life.
Those are the good old
Hell
days.
yeah.
Hell yeah. But yeah, wheelers and then snowboarding. And this is a pretty crazy story. So like Rob said earlier, he's kind of come and visited a few times over the years, and we've had some fun in the mountains. Still to this day, we haven't had the chance to really skate much together except for at Skate the Cape, but he was busy organizing. So even then. But snowboarding, we've gotten plenty of laps. And there was one season they came out and we went. You guys bought me my lift ticket that day, right? Like I quit my job that morning.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Like, come on, we just want to ride.
Yes, that was such a sick day, though. So yeah, I was working at a ski rental shop at the time, and I was supposed to have access to a lift ticket that we all like shared as a company. And the lift ticket was available for the day, and I went in. And the boss just wanted to be a dick for some reason and tell me I couldn't use it because I did something wrong on the entry form the day before, and so he was just being a stickler. And I was like, I told this dude off. This was one of my proudest moments in life, to be honest. I fucking called the dude a piece of shit. Told him to fuck himself, fucking kick rocks. I quit, and then I left, and it was great. And I called Rob, and I was like, dude, I don't think I'm gonna be able to ride today. Had to quit my job, bro. Sorry. And Rob was like, we're gonna buy you a lift ticket. Let's go. And bought me a lift ticket. It's a freaking powder day, like banger day. We get up to Brighton and we just get straight to ripping. We take a few laps and we dip into the side country, which anybody who's been to Brighton knows that's some of the best around, especially the terrain that we were hitting. We were going to a good spot, and we were trying to find the tree house, I believe, and I guided us a bit low, so we ended up kind of hiking around. And as we were hiking, Rob found a nice just a nice little freaking POW covered hillside, and he wanted to mash down it. And we were like, valid. And so, we let him hike up that. We're all waiting at the bottom. And this is me, Brian Fitch, Ricky, and Rob's wife. And we're all hanging out down there, just watching him hike on up. And he gets to the top. And, no fault to Rob. This was kind of you couldn't really tell. So much snow had fallen that it looked like the hillside wasn't as steep as it was. And when he got to the top and was walking along the ridge there, it just all collapsed and it came straight towards all of us. And there was a tree that was tipped over that essentially stopped it, and it kind of flattened out. And circumstances were great for this situation. But
Sure.
It was crazy to watch an avalanche just come straight towards me. Another wild experience. I just ducked behind the tree and then got up and I was like, all right, it stopped. We're good.
Yeah.
We stayed in bounds for the rest of the day.
Yep. Not fun to trigger an avalanche on your friends. And
No, I mean, I saw after that, you seemed to take a serious step in educating yourself.
Yes,
on
I
safety.
did. I did. I took my avalanche safety And man, I was such an idiot that day.
Dude, hey, like you live and you learn, and like luckily
Exactly. Yeah.
safe
Luckily, we're all fine.
in all reality, like these circumstances were pretty good for it. Like we were all in like a small grove of big trees,
Yeah.
really small like hillside. Like chances of anything going seriously wrong in that situation were pretty low, but it taught us all a lot.
Yeah. It was, we were in a pretty shallow area, and like that was just like this little roller. Literally, I grabbed this tree and like pulled it to like pull myself up, and literally it was like pulling a freaking casino thing. It was like ching, and triggered right down. It's like all of a sudden like
That's a hella funny
20
way.
feet of it were just like falling
Yeah.
out. The whole,
It just
whole
like
wrap.
caved like all across the whole ridge, and then you pulled yourself up, and you're like standing on top. Like, holy shit!
Yeah, because
Yeah.
none of us had like beacons or anything. That would have been, but
No, for real. Yeah,
it was super
you're
small.
up there.
But the year before that, we
Uh-huh.
found that magical hut.
We did make it up there, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, that's right, dude. We have what you've been out here. We've gotten to snowboard together like 4 separate seasons, right? Like, at least 4.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was another good time because there was literally a kicker built already.
That's right. I forgot about that. That was such a good one, dude.
That was the happy time before that one.
was a really good one. That was,
We were searching for that feeling again, and
yeah,
I was just like over eager. I'm like, no, we're gonna have fun. Last time we were like hit this backcountry kicker into powder, and we found this
That's
magical tree
right.
hut.
I can't believe I forgot about that one.
I
That
feel
was
like you did either, dude.
holy shit. Yeah, dude.
I know why too, because we were also on some enhancing
Awesome.
enhancing sports drugs.
I think I was the avalanche day too. And that was another reason why it was so crazy.
That's true. It was. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, it was also like holy crap.
Legendary, brothers.
Okay, yeah, that was fun. But just to touch on snowboarding though, 'cause you were a snowboarder first, right?
Yep. Yeah, I started snowboarding. Luckily when I was about 6 years old.
And
so I was
do you think
20
how has that helped you in downhill skateboarding?
That's a tough question. Like I feel like my progress in downhill skateboarding and snowboarding are so like far apart from each other. I don't know if it's done a lot. Like I think the seasons where I was lucky enough to have a season pass maybe affected my health throughout the winter to the point where I was able to continue like skating hard just as soon as the season hit. But yeah, like I've really been more as soon as like I started really taking skating seriously, I stopped getting season passes and I've just been like hyper focused on skating.
That's the thing. It's so much more accessible than snowboarding because it costs hundreds of dollars even to get a season pass. Like, which makes
crazy.
way more sense if you live where you do, but it's still hard.
I mean, luckily I got one this year. We were able to kind of work things out and make it happen.
Nice.
So yeah, we dodged
What'd you get?
depression.
Where are you going?
Have you been to Sundance when you've been out here?
No.
That's like kind of a tucked away resort up in Provo Canyon, but it's a nice one, and passes there are like half the price as anywhere else.
Nice.
So, yeah, we got passes there. I'm gonna teach Zen how to ride this year if he so desires.
Oh,
Yeah,
is that going to be the first time?
yeah, we took him up when he was probably he wasn't even 2 yet. We took him to Woodward Park City to kind of like experience the resort, and I took him on the ski lift and like rode down while I was holding him.
Nice.
But that's the extent of his experience on a resort. He skates a bit though, like he can kind of ride a board and push a little bit. So I think
Nice.
he'll be able to like kind of figure it out if he has the patience for it.
Yeah. It's tricky. The biggest thing is just keeping it positive.
Oh, for sure. Like it's just fun. Just fun.
Which, speaking of, you're a rad dad, as I like to say, because there's not many skateboard dads out there in the longboard community specifically. And you kind of had a head start. Your kid's 4 years old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And,
yeah.
tell us what's that like? How does that affect your your skate ambitions and involvement and balancing work, family, fun,
Yeah.
and teaching the kid to skate. I want to hear how that process is, because I'm trying to do that myself.
Yeah, dude, it's a definitely a challenge, and I think like from what I've observed, it's different for every kid. Like it's like a learning process for you as well. It's kind of got to dive into it. But yeah, being a kid, being a dad, and being a skateboarder, it's kind of a complicated topic. Like you first have your kid, and like when my son was first born, like it was definitely like I had to take a step away from skateboarding for some time. Like I wasn't really able to focus on it for a while. Right after he was born, I think he was like 6 months old, was when I released the last video I did before the one I just released today. And so yeah, it's been 4 years since I was able to do that. And that's just due to the responsibility that comes with it. And it's nothing I'm mad about. Like I picked it, like I chose to have a kid, and I'm happy I have a kid, and like this is the life that I picked. I want it. I'm not mad at all. But it definitely slows things down. Like nobody that wants to be out, partying and doing whatever should have a kid.
Good advice. Yeah.
Yeah, like you should
Give the advice, but also sell it so that they might want to do it.
At the same time, right? Like I have a best friend for life at this point, right? Like I can definitely count on the fact that like I've got a buddy and I've got someone that looks up to me, and that definitely influences the choices that I make, right? Like I think I'm a better person because I have a son, and I have to consider my actions. Like honestly, like I was getting pretty reckless with my choices before my son was born, and like who knows if I would even be alive right now if it wasn't for him. Like he's definitely made me take the extra step in considering the consequences to what I do every time I do something, and that's a huge blessing, I think, for somebody like me.
Such a reality check for sure.
Oh, totally. And in all the good ways, right? Like I was saying earlier, ever since I had a kid, like I've really tried to take a step back from going so fast and being reckless with myself, and trying to find the fun and being slow and technical, and like there really is some beauty in that. And I think that like has kind of bled out into my everyday life as well, right? Like you don't got to be so fast paced. You can get down in the nitty gritty and still have fun, and it's definitely been a big thing for me. I think it's just slowed me down a lot. I'm
Right.
still pretty fast. Like I still like when it comes to life, like I'm doing shit all the time. Like I'm a little bit too overoccupied, but I think I just do it in a different way.
But you're still pushing your skating, and you're going fast downhill still, and but you're doing it safely. You have a progression.
Exactly, right? Like I feel like I've found a way to like progress in skateboarding where I don't feel like I'm putting myself at risk whenever I step on my board. Like I really do feel confident that I'm going to come home to my family and I'm going to be completely intact. And it's definitely like it has not always been that way. Like the majority of my career skateboarding, I'd go out skating and be like, yeah, I'm definitely going to come home. I'm going to be hurt.
Pain for progression.
Dude, words to live by.
Well, man, it's been awesome talking to you. Jared, Kurt, you guys got anything else on before we get into hot takes?
I got one more question about subculture.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to bringing out with subculture? Like, what are you aiming at? What are your goals and ambitions with that company?
What's the vision, dude, Bo? What's the vision?
I appreciate you guys asking that, actually. The big vision is to, like this is the ultimate end goal of all goals, right? Like this is like the dream. but I want to see downhill skateboarding be at the level that street skateboarding is at. Like there are resources there that these people are able to tap into, and they're able to really expand that side of the sport to such an accelerated degree. And we can't do that. Like, we don't have the resources, right? And there's not the same ability for people to make a career out of this and just focus on making it something better, right? And that's important. Like, that's critical to the growth of something, is having people who are just full-time focused on it. And there needs to be ways to make that achievable. And I think there's other people working towards that for sure, but in my opinion, the more the merrier. And there's more than one way to do something, and so I want to pop in and try and see if it's something that I can help accomplish, because like at this point I don't see any reason why it can't be accomplished. Like, downhill skateboarding is genuinely entertaining to witness. And
Ben, I got 3 words for you, my friend. Affordability. Wait, one. Got to do the fingers for dramatic effect. Affordability, safety, and accessibility.
Yes,
those are the keys to success in getting to the masses. And I learned that from Mark Anthony himself.
No, you get it. No, absolutely. Like, that's another big reason why I've been so focused on bringing slide jams rather than races into Utah. Another thing I've been doing is slide clinics, right? Like, I'm trying to build a bridge, because I think the big thing that holds people back from approaching downhill is how dangerous it appears to be, due to the fact that the bulk of the content that people are seeing is people skating at 60, 70 miles an hour on open roads. Like, it's important that people pump out media of beginner skaters and like are showing that there's another side to it. Like, you don't got to go balls to the wall. Like, it's still fun when you're out there just like hanging out with your friends. And that was the big thing. That was the big spike in downhill in like 2010, 2013. Like, it's because everyone was riding drop throughs and cruiser boards, doing goofy shit, right? Like, that's the key. We need to keep that alive. That's important. We can't be calling people like that kooks. They are vital, critical.
Keep doing goofy shit.
Dude.
Well, Ben, I think it's great that people like you and our generation of skating are positive about making downhill kind of on the come up. A lot of people are just immediately like closing the door in your face, like never going to happen. Missed that boat.
Yeah, can't be.
Right. So like, I think it does take just a little bit of hope just to see, illuminate some light on what may not have already been tried, or might has been tried but hasn't worked in the past, but might work now.
Totally right. The times are different, and we can try old formulas and get new results. I think people like that who have a perspective like that should take a look at how street skateboarding got to where it is today, right? Like, it took people being kind of, like nerdy about skateboarding and diving into it to its fullest, and, doing stuff that was different to make it where it is, right? And they continue to do that. Like, that's not frowned upon in street skating. And there's something culturally different within the downhill world where, there are definitely people who like look at that and are like, I don't want it to be big, but it needs to be if you want to keep being able to do it for the rest of your life. That's important. And like, you want to see downhill skate parks one day, like do we want skate shops that are carrying downhill equipment? Absolutely. Like, I want this to be accessible for people, and we definitely have to kind of take a slight turn to make that more of a reality. We're getting there.
Yeah, dude. Well, Virtual Slide Jam has definitely got your back, bro. We're all about putting some shine on the fun shit.
You guys are doing it right. You're a big, like, your whole objective and mission and the way that you're handling this is exactly what downhill needs, right? Like, y'all are bringing like a fun, competitive atmosphere into this that, gives people the opportunity to not only be seen, but like show off, right? And like, there's no reason why anybody needs to be like hesitant to show off the thing that they've been working hard on for their whole life. you know, and I think like people are pretty hesitant to show off in downhill, even though it's pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, I mean, people work hard on racing and they go show it off. People work hard on slides and they don't do it.
Totally. Like make videos, show people what you're doing. It's sick.
Okay, so we got this hot take segment for you. Unless Jared, Rob, you got anything else you wanted to ask him?
I
Nope,
just
I'm
thought of a
good.
new hot takes question. I'll just insert whenever, but just thought of it.
Why don't you take over the hot take section then?
Oh, wow. My honor. Are you ready, Ben? So these are questions that I don't want you to think, just straight off the cuff. You got 1 to 3 seconds to answer.
Don't think, just hook, baby.
Ready.
All right.
Jared, are you muted?
Now I am.
Okay, here we go. Toe side or heel side?
Toe side, safer, reliable, funner. Mm-hmm.
Whoa, strong words. I like it. Good start. Ramps or rails?
Ramps, fuck a rail.
Oh, nice. Me too. Best place to skate?
The hills, brother.
Not giving it up. Dodging that one, man. Not giving up his little spots. Okay. Breakfast burritos or breakfast sandwiches for the rest of your life?
Breakfast sandwiches, no
Whoa.
doubt, brother.
Is that like a
No,
bagel?
why?
What do they do
Why?
in Utah?
Biscuit, English muffin. I'll do any of it. I fuck with breakfast sandwiches.
All right.
I'm sorry, Jared. It is not happy.
Bro. I'm sorry. I come off as passionately biased on this one.
You know,
All right.
burritos are important. They're definitely
Please continue.
Blasphemy. All right. Soft wheels or hard wheels?
right in the middle. Happy medium.
Oh, so what would you be your favorite Duro?
ADA.
Okay.
I mean, snakes, snakes are debatable though. Like I ride snakes and those are super soft, but they're very slidey.
So that's soft.
Yeah.
So
But
you
I
like
also
soft
ride
wheels.
dragons. Like it's like dragons or snakes.
Okay.
I will not
Okay.
ride square lips.
Again, kind of dodging the question.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna claim soft wheels. All right.
All right. All right. So you're a guy that's traveled around. If you could live anywhere, where would it be?
God, that is so hard to answer. I don't know. I really liked it in North Carolina, to be honest. My family did not, though. Yeah, there's just so much to see and do out east, like upstate New York, too. Just the whole freaking East Coast. It's amazing.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Do you call it longboarding or downhill skateboarding?
It's skateboarding. Downhill skateboarding. My downhill skateboard is the same length as my street skateboard. The double kick I ride at the skate park is the longest board I own. All right?
Preach.
Like, I don't want to hear that shit. It is skateboarding. All right? Fuck y'all.
I agree.
I'm gonna
I
start
like
calling it long
Preach,
wheelbasing.
brother.
Long wheel.
Okay. Well, is downhill skateboarding, is it a sport, a lifestyle, or an art?
All three.
God, you're such a dodging.
That was actually not a bad answer.
It really is, though.
No,
Rolling
you're
the
right,
punches.
Jared. Yeah, Ben, you're right. You're right. It's all three. I like it. All right. If you had to choose riding POW or a freshly paved road.
Ooh, you really
with
got me
the
there.
perfect grade, and of course the PAL is the perfect grade.
You really got me there, dude. I honestly think I would pick PAL.
Great answer.
I honestly think I would. I'm ashamed to admit it, but fuck it, brother.
It's pretty magical.
The
Good
best.
answer. Good answer. All right. Who would your ideal sponsor be? Not a longboard or downhill skateboard brand at all.
Oh. Damn. Toyota.
Nice.
Good answer.
What model? You getting?
Dude, a Tundra, brother.
Yeah, can't argue there.
Hey, whew, those are the best trucks.
All right. What's the kookiest trend happening in our little community right now?
I'm gonna get canceled, dude. You really think? Board weights.
Oh.
Off, y'all. All right, you don't need a board weight. Oh my god. I frown upon it. I frown upon it.
And this is from a guy who's pretty light. What's your weight?
I'm 6'2" and I weigh like 160 on a good day. That's like my heavyweight.
Just wait till you're 30, dude.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes for me. I'm just saying, you guys do not need a weight. All right, just lean harder. All right.
Stand harder.
Exactly.
Tuck better.
And the double foot stops, like what is that shit? Come on. You just one foot stop. Y'all are making your skateboards uncomfortable for no reason.
Bindings, bro.
They're trying to make it bindings.
Step in bindings.
Oh my god, like come on. I've seen people with like 3 foot stops on their board, and that's just ridiculous.
Yo, we're gonna see like someone at an event like step on their board and hear click. You're like, what?
I'll be mad. Dude.
All right, this has been great. Last hot take question we got for you is: who is the GOAT of downhill skateboarding to you?
You're gonna put me in a tough spot here, because I mean, from my background, I should be saying Dylan Hepworth, and you know he's up there. He's up there high, and we all know that. But like, shit, dude. In the modern day, you know, Dylan's not really putting out much media, you know, and he's slowing down in that area. And we got like, you know, like, I hate to suck my boy's dick, but Jesse Fabrizio is really on the come up. Like, he's really on the come up.
Wow, early GOAT status.
I love to see what he's doing. Like, the way that he's approaching downhill. Like he does it all. He literally does it all. I've never seen anybody else do it like that. Like he can skate street comfortably. He can tech slide incredibly well. And then like downhill, always, no problem. Like there's nobody else. There's nobody else that can skate like that. So there's him. And then I'm sure we've all seen Lorenzo, our Italian friend, Lorenzo P. He's crazy. So those two, I'm going to give them the title from my perspective. They're
And
very
no weights.
inspirational people.
I think like, and like that kind of says a lot. It says like we kind of like haven't had a GOAT yet.
No, it's still building. Like there's so much to be done.
It's pretty cool.
It should always be Sergio Yuppie.
Oh, that is like the
He
right
is
answer.
forever the king.
I was going to say Sergio, but I was like, I'm going to answer this with some seriousness here. Sergio is definitely the OG tech slide king.
He is the king.
Yes.
Long live the king.
He's still going. He still goes hard.
That's the crazy part. The dude's in his 40s and he's still going.
He's only in his 40s.
Or he
looking-
might be in his 50s at this
I think
point.
he's
I
in
don't know,
his
but
50s.
he's
Like,
still
he's
doing it. He's
Yeah.
doing shit Tony Hawk style.
Bro, he's doing blunt slides and shit still, like holding them out.
Yeah.
Like, dude, man's is
He's
goated.
still going, man.
He's goated for sure. We love him.
So I got a question. How come tech sliding didn't take off with Sergio Yuppie putting out media like you did? Like, what kept tech sliding from taking off back then?
I think, like, to be honest, it was almost like he was almost going at it at such an extreme way that it appeared almost goofy, and like it wasn't as appealing for people to approach.
Like Rodney Mullen level.
Exactly, right? But as you grow and develop in skateboarding, it's in retrospect where you see like, holy shit, like, whoa, Rodney Mullen's built different. And oh my God, Sergio Yuppie, whoa, how are you sliding with your head on the ground? You know?
Dude, and now
Like,
Jesse's out there.
you don't know. And it's like, what is this dude doing right now? You know what I mean? Not to say, like, when I first saw Sergio Yuppie, the King of Downhill Slide, like, that was one of the first videos I ever saw. And I was like, what the frick is happening? But at the same time, it's like, I'm looking at it like, I don't have any interest in sliding my head across the ground. You know what I mean? Like, so there's a boundary to it.
Trying to do fat 180s on my demon seed.
Exactly.
And now it's like, no, I'm trying to do 50-mile-an-hour toe side checks on my triple foot stop weighted board.
With my weighted 20-inch wheelbase, 30-inch mini board with 120 millimeter trucks. Like, what the hell?
35 degree in the front, 47 degree in the back.
50 to people are rocking like 55 degree front trucks now, which is like so weird to me. Like, that is so turny.
I got to ask Zach, made him at Rowan, like, hey, would there be any course that you bring out like the gold rogues? Like, is there any course that those would like perform better? And he had to think about it for a second, but he said, like, no, honestly, like the ZM1s are just like tuned and they do everything the same. So they're like obsolete now, apparently.
Yeah, I got to talk to Justin at Brass a few weeks ago about the difference between Zealous trucks and ZM1s, which are like polar opposites. Like, if you've seen Zealous, you've seen they have like a super deep bushing seat, and then ZM1s have no bushing seat. Like, it's just an open seat right there. And yeah, honestly, ZM1s sound pretty sick. Like, I don't know. There's like, I don't know. I think with a narrow truck, like, you just want it to be open.
Right.
Because I found myself on the Zealous, like, that snapback is just too much. Like, you're just like gently diving into a corner, and then it just wants to be like, you know.
That sounds terrifying.
It is, but granted, I do not have ankles that are built for that shit, and I think I should have gotten the wider ones. And that only happened at Brass, probably at like 60-ish, close to 60. And it was kind of the most bizarre thing too, because like usually you get speed wobbles and you lean forward, right? Like, they wouldn't go away unless I put weight on my back foot. So that really tripped me out. That's like an anomaly of a story, right?
It is.
Yeah, I couldn't understand what was happening to me. I was like, yo, what the fuck?
Time to learn at 60 miles an hour.
Dude, literally, I was like, why am I here right now?
Like, figure it out now.
Definitely the scariest moment I've had on a skateboard in many years. So close to
That's why
dying.
These days when I'm wobbling into the first corner of the hill, I just don't ride. I'm just like, nope.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's pretty much what happened. I didn't take full runs the rest of the trip. I just hiked the corners and chilled. Got shit faced. You know how it is.
So, yeah, dude, rad having you on. Rad to hear about you and all you're doing. Stoked that you're pretty close by.
Yeah, we gotta skate more, dude, for sure.
Yeah, maybe even get some snowboard laps in this winter.
Let me know. We get me and Robert both have passes to Sundance. I think we get 20% off buddy passes. So
Hell yeah.
Get
Nice.
you some laps, brother.
I'll be rolling up for that for sure. Finally on board again.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'll
Well,
be
cool.
looking forward to it.
Yeah, Ben, can't wait to see what you do with your new company. That's gonna be
Thank
really
you.
fun to watch, and can't wait to get some laps in with you at Skate the Cape.
Yes, I'm keeping my eyes on flights. All right, I'm waiting until those prices plummet. I'm gonna freaking get it.
Dude, when you
Yeah,
see the
so
prices
March,
go,
dude.
Yeah,
all at me.
dude.
Let me
Yeah,
know.
Kurt, you should come. It's a blast.
Oh, I'm coming.
Blast. Sick.
Oh, you have to go, Kurt.
Sick.
You absolutely have to. It's worth the flight, I promise.
It is seriously. Like, there's nothing like it.
I got a credit card. We'll
There
worry
you
about it
go.
later.
I'm talking about.
Rob, where would you recommend Kurt fly into? What city?
Philly.
Philly? Okay.
Yep. You'll get the best flights options, and then it's just less than an hour. It's like an hour drive.
I need to
Okay.
find some homies to rent a car with. I'm not doing that shit alone.
We can probably find someone to scoop you up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
got
had-
people in Philly, DC. Yeah, no, that wouldn't be a problem.
Yep. You get the flight, the rest we got, buddy.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
We got
See
you.
you all there. It was really fun, Ben. Great talking to you as always, and diving deep into your story, which I know there's a lot more to come.
Yeah, hey, I really appreciate you guys bringing me on. Actually, it means a lot. This was definitely fun.
Dude,
You know, never been asked so many personal questions all at once. So for being curious.
stoked to have you in the community, brother. You're a blessing.
Always stoked to be here. It's been great getting to know you, Kurt, Jared, Rob, as always. Much friggin' love to you. Hope we get to talk again soon.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll skate the Cape. Hopefully sooner for us, Kurt.
Yeah.
That's a podcast, right?
That's a podcast.
We did it.
We did it.
We did it.
Long deck energy.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Good stuff.